Cue the music.
Oh man, we need music.
Josh
Fuck.
O'Connor podcast. Check it out. Roy McDonald. Hey.
That would be fucking great. That would be great.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so we'll just kick it off. All right, this is episode 2 of the BJJ Addict podcast with Dennis Kang and Josh O'Connor. Dennis, my friend, how are you?
I'm good, Josh. Happy to be here as always.
Right on, right on. So we'll get right to it. Current events in MMA. What I have to ask before we start. I just read that your Pride vet friend Bob Sapp is now the new vice president of global public relations for Road FC. What do you
Really?
think of that? Yeah, I just read
Oh,
that.
I don't know. I think it's just like it's probably mostly like a show title. I don't know what he's doing, but that's good for him. I'm glad he's getting work in. You know what I mean? I hope he's getting paid for it, and it's that's good.
Yeah, it just popped up on my news feed. I thought
Yeah. No,
I'd see it.
him and I fought on the same event in Road FC a couple years ago, and he was a nice guy. So Bob's a nice guy. So I
I
hope
was
he's I wish him good good on everything.
I was gonna say he seems like a bit of a character, but I feel like maybe public relations is a good
Definitely.
industry for him.
No, he's definitely a character. And yeah, PR is good. He's talkative. He loves the attention and the showboat, and he's bigger than life. Like there's no way he can go unnoticed. So if he's working for your company will get noticed. You know.
So what's going on that has your attention right now?
Right now it's Aldo McGregor. Oh
Hells
my god.
yes.
Oh my god, I can't wait for that. Like they've done such a good job of hyping that fight up, McGregor and Aldo. Like, and I don't know, like it's real animosity. Like McGregor has really gone under Aldo's skin. You can tell. I've been watching the UFC embedded videos,
So
and
great.
yeah, they're awesome, man. And I don't know. I love McGregor's style. I think he's awesome. I think he went a little. He stepped over the line when he grabbed the belt from Aldo and when he put his hand on the back of his neck.
A little
If I was
bit.
Aldo, I don't think I would have had that much self control. But hey, he it's cool. And I don't think we've ever seen like two fighters have have a little scuffle at a press conference or whatever, like and actually really fight and hurt each other. That would suck. You know.
Well, I think the
Uh,
closest would be probably Jones and DC recently.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know.
But it seems like they
Sure,
genuinely hate each other.
huh? Yeah.
Kind of
Who,
like
Aldo
kind of
and
like Chuck
McGregor?
and Tito. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's McGregor's working that, obviously.
Oh, for
Aldo
sure.
usually he's usually pretty cool, but McGregor just he does that with anybody. But hey, man, he's doing it well. The thing is, like, there's a difference between him and Chael Sonnen. And Chael Sonnen, like, he always did it kind of tongue in cheek, and he did it well. And
Mm.
then McGregor is it's more serious. Like you can tell he believes his own shit, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So do you think who do you think's benefiting more? I realize this is kind of like a silly question in some ways, but on the last podcast, we actually, if you remember, we talked about Jose Aldo and how he doesn't promote his own fights really, and he doesn't really make an effort to sell any fights. And
No.
now he's kind of I think, really for the first time been brought out into the forefront
Yep.
as a hyped fight. Like he's probably
Yep.
going to make more money off of this fight than anything. So really, as much animosity as he may hold outwardly towards McGregor, he's got to be deep down thanking his lucky stars that there is someone like Conor McGregor who's going to get him the
Sure.
paycheck that he is.
Yeah, that's true. I never looked at it that way. I mean, yeah, he's definitely getting attention that he normally doesn't get because of the language barrier. He's not a super charismatic fighter, so
No.
this is a little out of the norm for him. And I think McGregor will do that. He will bring that level of attention to any fight, and that's why I think he's good for the sport, and I think that's why UFC likes him so much, and he got kind of a fast track to a title shot, which a lot of fighters are unhappy about. But man, you know what? If you're unhappy about it and you want it, then get off your ass and get it and do it. What did McGregor do? He worked his ass off. You know what I mean? Shit, man. He didn't buy his way to a title shot. He fought his way to a title shot. He talked his way to a title shot. Like this is all work. If you don't like it, if you want the same thing, then go do it. Nobody's stopping you.
Well,
You know what I mean?
just even from a business standpoint, I mean, look at all of Aldo's previous fights. I mean, the guy's a beast. Don't get me wrong. I would never downplay his abilities as a
Right.
fighter, but he's coasting through fights. He's
Yeah, he
kind of
is.
hit that Anderson Silva level
No,
where he can play with guys in the cage.
yeah,
Like he
but
doesn't.
yeah.
So go ahead.
Sorry to cut you off there, but you're gonna notice that almost all champions that have reigned for a long time do that because they find the formula to winning 5 round fights safely is
Mm,
that you have to fight safely and not make mistakes or else you get knocked off. I mean, getting to the title is one thing. Staying up there is, it's a lot of pressure. I heard it. I think Dominic Cruz said it best when he was saying he was talking about the girl that beat Esparza, the
yeah.
Polish girl, and he said that welcome to the big leagues. Welcome, now you're gonna find out what being a champion is all about. It's about working harder than anybody else and all the other fighters, and you're basically the manager of your division, right? So there's a lot of pressure on you. There's a lot of pressure to win, and you don't, you make one little mistake, you lose a fight because you're trying to make it exciting for the fans. You get slammed. But I was trying to make it exciting. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
None of the fans are going to say, "Oh, well, he was trying to make it exciting." Let's, I still love him. No, nobody's going to say that. So that's why they kind of, after a while, they realize like, hey, man, like winning is more important than putting on important fights. And
Yeah.
it's now I'm quoting a lot of fighters now, but it's Clay Guida that said it. He said it's wins, not fights, that keep you in the UFC, right? So
And
it's
you can't
winning
argue that. How do
consistently.
you argue that?
You're right. You're right. So I don't know. I think Aldo, he doesn't fight. It could be worse. He definitely could be laying praying his way to 5 rounds, but he's not. At least he keeps it standing up.
Yep.
It could be worse. So I don't think it's too bad.
Well, he definitely needs like his. You referred to him earlier, like his Chael Sonnen, someone who's going to really challenge him in the cage. Like I think people were scared to. Well, I don't think it's kind of a commonly known fact. People get spooked and they're scared to engage with people like Anderson Silva because they're almost like this ninja godlike character who
Yeah.
can't be touched. Whereas you have guys like Chael Sonnen who brought the fight to him, and guys like Chris Weidman who brought the fight. I think that's really what Connor's going to do with Jose, and I think it's going to be, you know, a welcome
I hope.
challenge for Jose.
Yeah. I hope that's what he does because as much as we say, he's, we're talking about Aldo here. This is McGregor's first title fight. So we
Yep.
don't know if he can handle it. He might be like, oh my God, what have I done? What have I built? I've built this mega fight, this mega media attention pyramid, and I'm on the top of it with Jose Aldo, and I've never been here before. So it's, he has to perform now. He has to.
Yeah.
He's in the main event and he's in a title fight for 5 rounds. Hey man, you gotta show up. There's no calling in sick for that day.
No.
Because Aldo is gonna come in ready. I guarantee you that.
Oh, for sure. He's
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 gonna
gonna come in to make a statement,
he's
definitely.
gonna come in and blast his legs and throw those power shots, like that's that Brazilian style. The way Renan Barão fights the same way, like everything's
Yeah.
a power shot. It's very simple, but it hurts, man. It's hard punches, hard kicks.
Speaking of Renan Barão, insert segue. What do you think of the whole Montreal card falling apart already?
Well, it happens. I don't know. What happened already? One fight dropped out, and the whole
Well,
thing.
yeah,
I
the
guess.
Rory fight got canceled
Right.
because
Oh, the Lombard,
yeah,
right?
Lombard got popped for
Yeah.
PEDs.
Right.
Shocking because
Yeah. Yeah.
and
That's wow. That happens though.
it's
I don't
really
know.
too bad. Honestly, we talked about it on the last podcast too. I
Yeah,
was
that was a good
so
fight.
excited for that fight. So excited
Yeah.
for that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that fight got pulled, and then the Dillashaw Barao fight too got canceled. So now it's DJ headlining.
Yeah. And unfortunately, man, as good as he is, Demetrius Johnson, just not that many people care about that division. I'm
No.
sorry. I hate, they work as hard as anybody else, and they're good, if not better, because they're pure skill, that division. But
Yep.
it's just not that many people care about it. The small guys. I don't know why. It's good. It's gonna take a really charismatic guy to bring that division to life. You know who might be is Henry Cejudo. You know what I'm talking about? He's
Yes.
the
Yep.
Olympic gold
Yep.
medalist for USA, man, and I think that's his division.
Now he's
And
had a
man, he's
lot of trouble making weight though, has he not?
yeah,
Or
I
am I
know,
mistaken?
I
Okay.
know, I know. He might have to move up to 145. So who knows? But that guy is a beast, man. Like Olympic gold medalist, and he can strike pretty good, in my
Yeah.
opinion, from what I've seen.
That's
He's
kind
not a
of.
slouch.
Do you think that division is kind of suffering from uh, almost what women's MMA was a while back before Ronda really hit it big, where like they need that one shining
Yeah,
star
they
to
need
kind
a
of draw
hero.
attention?
You're right. You're right. They need a hero, be it like a heel or a good guy or a face.
Yeah.
They need somebody to bring attention, and that's what Ronda's doing.
They need a Misha Tate. I think they have a Ronda and DJ, as silly as that sounds to say. But
No, I
like
don't. No, I don't think so.
I don't know, he's so talented. Like just from a talent basis, like he's so good, and they almost I think had it with Dodson when he was going after him, but I don't think there's anyone to really
I don't think they
challenge
have.
DJ.
Yeah, I don't think. Honestly, in my honest opinion, they don't have anybody right now except for maybe Sujudu. We're gonna have to see. But I
Yeah,
don't think. I think DJ, man. If we wouldn't be having this conversation if DJ was what you said he was. Like, no, I'm sorry,
I
he's
suppose
not.
so.
He's a great fighter,
He
man.
really
Like
is.
pound for pound, he's top five for sure. But I don't know. There's just something missing in like the marketability department.
It's so
You know.
weird too. Like sponsored by Xbox, like he's doing something right, but
Oh yeah,
there's
this guy's
some.
good.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
There's maybe a piece of that puzzle that's missing that maybe
yeah.
we're not
The it
privy to.
factor. He doesn't have the it factor, that some people have.
I guess.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what it is.
what
You
else
know.
for you? Like there's so much going on. What did you see they hired a new guy, some guy from the FDA to track PED use in MMA?
Yeah, now they have a whole department now
That's
dedicated
crazy.
to busting people using PEDs. That is, well, hey man, that's wow. That's I don't know if that's like, is he really gonna be like coming into work every day and just be like an Elliot Ness trying to bust like the evil steroid guys? He's smoking weed, he's using ephedrine, he's on testosterone. I don't know. It might just be a show thing. He
Well,
might just be there like on a consultant basis, right?
that could very well be. I mean, I know a lot of people said like it's gonna get worse before it gets better, and the UFC seems to be taking this very, very seriously. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like, and please correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like it's a calculated risk on their part, but don't you think that this may hit a point of diminishing returns where there are going to be too many cards that may get canceled or too many fighters that will suddenly become inactive with quote unquote injuries because of all this testing?
Yeah, you're right. But I think it's going to force people to not use as well. I don't know. In my opinion, all these people being caught lately, I don't know. It would kind of force you to not want to use, you know,
Hmm.
because and if you don't use, you think, well, if the risk is too great, and at least the risk is there for everybody. So if I don't use, chances are most people aren't using either.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I was a fighter right now, it would completely discourage me from using any banned substances. Absolutely, they're
Now,
very, very, yeah. It's a bad thing.
do you think it's better for having worked in both organizations? Do you think it's better to have this very very clear line in the sand divide where you have guys who are clean fighters who completely denounce the use of PEDs, and then guys who they'll get popped and then they'll come back and like we'll try and forget about any use, and then you had Habib calling out Cerrone for PED use, which was false. It was like diuretics, I think, in the past.
Well, he used a diuretic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Or do you think it was better in Pride, where it was just known that it's like, okay, we're not going to test you. Whatever you want to use, okay, cool. Don't worry about
Yeah.
it. And then
Well, there's
it's
the
just a known fact that, okay, my opponent may be using, but I have the option to use as well. Like, there's
yeah.
no.
The thing is, there's a bit of an ethical issue because a lot of these PEDs are illegal, right?
Right.
If you've got a T therapeutic use exemption, and okay, that's fine, that's legal, right? If you've got anything prescribed from the doctor, that's fine. But a lot of these people are going to be using like underground steroids, which are they're not legal. So
Yeah.
I don't know. You have to kind of take that into consideration, right?
Yeah, that's very true.
And and it's there's I think there's a bit of a misconception about anabolic steroids, and people think that, I've heard people say that, oh, then all that needs to happen is for someone to die in a fight, and then you'll realize that the person who caused the death was on steroids. Well, no, it doesn't really matter. A death could still happen with a person off of steroids.
Yeah.
Steroids aren't a magic thing that just kind of grant you superhuman powers. You're not going to be able to fly or to bench press a car. It might increase your performance by, you know, if you want to talk percentages, less than 10%, and that's if you do it a lot of it.
Hmm.
It's if anything, it'll increase your recovery so you can train a little bit more, and it might make you more prone to overtraining. It definitely could make you more prone to injury because if you get stronger, your tendons and your muscles can't handle it, and that's how you get muscle tears and tendon tears,
Right.
right? But steroids don't give you that. They definitely give you a significant boost, but not as much as certain people think. It does
Hmm.
certain like it won't make you. I don't can't remember who I was reading this interview by, but the fighter was he was saying something like somebody was taking so many hits to the head, he was really tough, and that was all because he was on steroids. Well, no, the steroids they don't allow you to take a better shot. They
Hmm.
don't do anything like that. They don't mask pain, and everybody knows you don't really feel pain in a fight, anyways. So that's besides the point. But they'll make you stronger and they'll help you recover faster. So you can train harder and it might increase your gas a little bit. You know what I mean? But it's I don't know. You get what you put into it, so it doesn't have as great of an effect as people think.
Yeah.
You know. So and to get back to your question, which is should they be legal? Oh, that's tough. I don't know. Again, like I said, there's the ethical issue here with
Yeah.
people using illegal, and then what? Somebody gets arrested for using illegal.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think if you have, you know what? No, I don't think they should be legal. That's it. I don't think that. I don't think so. You know.
Fair
I
enough. I
think.
think I think you're you're
Yeah.
you're on the right track with the whole legality of it. I'll be honest, I didn't really think that one through just because
Yeah.
you couldn't have a legally sanctioned fight with illegal substances being okay. The whole pride
Yeah.
thing was just the knowledge that you weren't going to be tested. It's not
Yeah.
like
And
they were
also,
handing out vials of like stanzanol in the locker rooms.
yeah. Also, pride was there was somehow almost like I don't know how do I say it because it was a foreign event and there's a kind of like a detachment almost from rules and maybe like the way it is here because it was a foreign event and in Japan, you know what I mean? So it didn't feel like the athletes were as scrutinized like they are over here.
Yeah.
Here they're looked at very closely, you know. So if I mean imagine if you have an event where everybody's on the sauce and juiced up and you can tell, kind of like the bodybuilding nowadays, IFBB. I mean it has a horrible reputation when you see
Oh
these
yeah.
guys. You can tell because if they are legal, then it's the playing field is always the bar is always raising. People are getting better, new moves, new styles are getting better and better. So people are just going to start taking more and more and more steroids, and it's going to be just like bodybuilding, where guys are going
Mm,
to get more and more massive, and it'll just be disgusting. And then you'll have guys like that look like Ronnie Coleman competing in UFC,
yeah.
and then it'll just be make a mockery of the sport, really, right?
No, I
Because there won't be
completely
any
agree.
control. Yeah.
I think, and I'll stop beating the steroid horse to death after this comment. But I think the one thing about steroid use in sports or PEDs in sports that really upsets me is, you know, I went to I'll say like a middle to upper class high school
Hmm.
ish. Um, and from what I understood from other guys who were on the football team, there was a large portion of athletes in high school who were on steroids. And I know that it wasn't just my high school, and I know there are high schools in the United States that suffer from this problem. And I think it's just so silly to see all of these people worried. And I mean, I understand the difference. It's combat sports, but like, I think a lot of attention should really sooner or later be turned on the schools where you have minors using
Yeah,
steroids
yeah,
on
it's true.
a regular basis. And I mean, in
True.
Canada, I mean, I'm not sure what our American listener base is, but in Canada, like, it's like collegiate sports are completely different. I mean, you really, really need to stand out to get noticed by like American scouts and to hit it big. Like football here in university and college isn't
Cut out.
even close to what it is.
Yeah.
Um, but
Hey, you're
I think.
cutting out there first. You cut out for a second there, just so you know if it happens again. I
Thank you.
lost you for about 5 seconds. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Sorry.
collegiate sports, what?
Yeah, sorry. Collegiate sports just aren't what they are in Canada, the same as the States.
No, that's
They're,
definitely true.
I mean, our professional football, and nothing against it, but like our professional football is on par with American university and college football, I would say, maybe a little bit less. So our athletes are, constantly doing anything they can to stand out from the pack and really get attention from U.S. scouts and U.S. teams. And I think, we talk about, fighters on PEDs, and we're talking about adults making adult decisions
Yeah.
when you have kids
Yeah.
making very poor adult
Yeah.
decisions
Well,
while
no.
their
Well
bodies
then,
are
well,
still growing.
well then, you're absolutely right. And then I'm going to take it even a step further, and I'm going to mention that then you're going to have adults making decisions for kids, and you're going to have coaches giving it to kids because it's
Yeah.
all legal anyways,
Yeah.
right? So what happens then when you have like if steroids are legal, and then you have a coach that just wants to succeed, wants his team to get the state finals or whatever, and he puts his whole team on the sauce, and then you have all these kids that their whole sense of athleticism has been kind of jaded since the beginning because they've been on steroids since eighth grade. Oh my
Yep.
God, that's ridiculous. Then I'm going to get my ass kicked by eighth graders. No.
All right, on to another topic. How cool is it that Ryan Reynolds is currently in your city filming the Deadpool movie? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you and
That's
your
I'm
your
not.
inner nerd to see it?
Yeah, I'm not even mad that the traffic was horrible today and that they shut down a whole part of downtown to film a scene because I got Deadpool was there, so it's cool.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I think it's really neat. I can't wait for the movie to come out. I've seen the trailer, the one with the car flipping over. I think it looks great. I can't wait. I
Did you,
can't wait.
did you see the Red Band trailer with Mario Lopez?
No, what's that?
Oh, he talks.
What's the
It's like an interview
Mario
with.
Lopez from
Yeah.
Saved by the Bell?
Yeah. Do you know what? Fuck it. I'm not even gonna tell you what happens in it. Just when we get offline, I'll send you the link. It's fucking
Okay.
hysterical.
All right. Cool.
Um, so what are you watching right now? I know we talked.
Vikings. Love
Yeah.
Vikings. Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
still
love
haven't
that show.
watched it. Everyone's raving
No,
about that
it's a
show,
good
man.
show. It's a good show. You know what? I haven't really gone into Game of Thrones yet because I heard Game of Thrones is awesome.
Oh, so
But
good.
Vikings, I've watched a little bit of it. It looks awesome. Vikings is great, darker and grittier. Because
Yeah.
it's realistically set in those times. I think it's like the 12th century or something.
Mhm.
And look at me knowing accurate dates and shit. God damn it, I'm a history buff. So what? Anyways, yeah, so it's around that time everything was dirty and people didn't bathe like they do now and people were covered in mud,
Yeah.
always just disgusting. And that show, I don't know, it's just realistic. It's got that dark, grimy feel to it. I like it. You know what? Kind of like the closest movie I can bring to mind is 13th Warrior. If you've seen that, that was a great
You
movie.
actually made me watch that movie, as a matter
Yeah,
of fact.
that's a good movie.
That's a fantastic
So
movie.
yeah, it's along the same kind of lines, right?
I'll have to check
Same
that out.
level.
You know what? I've been Netflixing like crazy.
Oh yeah.
Spartacus.
Oh, I did not like that.
Really?
It's
Dude.
the story seemed to be crap. It was just you like hack and slash, it's all right, but there's no good. It didn't seem like. Is there a good story? I don't know.
There's a good story. You gotta make it to the end of the first season.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I did some reading because the wife got me hooked on it, and she was watching the first couple episodes, and it was driving me fucking crazy
Well,
how much.
of course, the wife likes it. It's eye candy for kids.
I know. We won't talk about it. I already have a complex as it is. Speaking of
You know,
steroids, I
you know,
started
you
last week. Thank you very much.
Be-
Um,
because of Spartacus. Hey, you know
yeah.
what I heard is good though is Black Sails. I
I've
heard it's
never even heard
awesome.
of that. What's that?
Oh yeah, it's another show like that, but I think it's set amongst like it's I don't even know. I think it's set amongst more like the 16th century and the explorers. You know what? I'm gonna Google it right now, but it looks awesome, and it happens on a ship like pirates and stuff.
I'll have to check that shit out. Yeah.
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Black Sails TV series. Boom. I got it right now. Let me see the plot. So, set roughly 2 decades before the events of Treasure Island. So, it's around that time. And during the golden age of piracy, the
Oh shit.
feared Captain Flint brings on a younger crew member as they fight for the survival of New Providence Island. So, it's kind of all about that. It's in 17th century, right? Around the West Indies, and they're fighting for the spice trade, right? The buccaneers and privateers, you know what I mean?
But does it have
Pirates.
boobs? That's my question.
I'm sure it does.
All
I'm
right.
sure it does.
I'm in. There's literally you don't go 30 seconds without nudity in Spartacus. I'm convinced of this.
Really?
Oh, dude. It's kind of ridiculous. I'll be honest. Okay, first episode I saw, I was like, "Oh, cuz it's got the chick from Xena in it." And you're like,
Yeah.
"Man, if I
Lucy
could
Lawless.
yeah, if I could tell 12-year-old me that there was going to be a show where she's topless all the time, I would be super excited." And then it happens when you're 30 and you're like, all right, I'm over it. Like after 2 whole seasons of her walking around topless, like I never thought I could be over something like that. But I'm gonna be honest, bro, you kind of get over it.
Yeah, apparently you do.
It's age, man. It's age.
Yeah, I guess you kind of overlook certain things.
It's all good. What about
Yeah.
comics, man? What you reading? I've been sleeping on all my comics. I am ashamed
No,
to
right
admit.
right now I'm keeping up. It's Infinity right now. I don't know if you
Still,
guys got
yeah.
the Infinity. Yeah, it's going on with the Avengers and all that stuff.
You were
It's
telling me about this.
it's Avengers and New Avengers, and there's just things going on like worlds are colliding, and it's affecting the entire Marvel universe, and it's supposed to be kind of like the precursor to a whole Marvel reboot. I don't know if you're
Really?
aware of what they did in DC, right? They
No,
kind of
laid on me.
rebooted well in DC they rebooted the entire universe. It's called the New 52 or something. So they kind of erased all the storylines and they just restarted the entire DC universe from day one in all the comics. Everything went
Really?
back to like Batman 1 and all that stuff, and they restarted with new origins, right?
Huh.
So I think in what they're doing with the Marvel Infinity thing, there's a multiversal conflict like that's going on, and there's gonna be some kind of big blowout at the end, and it's gonna somehow mesh a whole bunch of multiverses together, and it's gonna affect the Marvel characters, right? There's gonna be superheroes that'll be gone or dead or changed, right? Because in Marvel there's like the Ultimate Universe, there's the Earth 616 or whatever, like
Hmm.
you know. So I don't know. I'm deep into it.
Interesting. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to pick some of those up. I sadly have not picked up a comic book or read any scans in almost 6 months now.
Really? No,
It's terrible.
I impatiently wait for when they come out every first Wednesday, I believe, of the month. So
I can't. I
yeah.
can't do
But
it anymore.
there's a lot of good like series that are out that are put together, right?
Yeah.
Not everything is there's you know, Marvel is a small fraction of the good reading out there. There's some good stuff, like adult oriented, like superhero ones, or fantasy ones that are more meant for adults, like with real themes. Like what would happen if somebody really got superpowers in the real world? They'd probably go nuts and start thinking they're God and raping and killing and just So that's some of the stories are like that. It's pretty neat to
Well, I
see
was gonna
that.
say you got
Interesting.
me on a comic that kind of follows that storyline. I do not, for the life of me, remember what it was called. Was it called Gods or something like that?
Uh, there's super god. There's a god somewhere.
It was
That's really
Super
good.
Gods. Yeah, that's what it
Yeah,
was.
super god. Yeah, that's different. That's when each country like world superpower has invent their own like weapon of mass destruction. It's in the form of like some kind of superhero augmented human program, right? And they all
Hmm.
kind of go. they're basically like living superheroes with the mind of a computer, but they just kind of go nuts and start taking over the world, or they each one. That sucked. I'm so sorry. That was I think that was on my end here. For some reason, I went offline for a second.
Oh, it's all good, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just discovered though that Skype has voicemail. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I just called
Okay.
you and it like went to your voicemail. I was like, oh shit.
Huh.
So you were just talking
We
about
were talking about comics. So
yeah,
yeah, we're talking about super gods. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, there's some good ones out there. There's another one called Super Crooks. It's awesome.
Yes, you made
Super
me
Crooks
read
is
that as
really
well.
cool.
That was
Oh yeah, did you like
fantastic.
that?
I
That's good.
loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Try reading this one. Try reading A God Somewhere.
A god somewhere? I
Yeah,
will I
yeah.
will write that down right now.
So this one is about this guy who he just wakes up one day or he has an accident and he gets superpowers, kind of like Superman, like invulnerability and flight, and he's like, Superman, and then he realizes like he can do anything he wants. He rules the world because nobody else has this, and he goes nuts, you know. So it's a pretty realistic take on that genre, because it's probably what would happen. This
Yeah.
guy's like the loser in life before, blah blah blah. Then all of a sudden he gets like omnipotent power, and like he just rules. So it's
That's
pretty cool. A
sick.
God Somewhere. Check it out.
I'll definitely I
Boom.
just bookmarked that on Wikipedia. And you do that,
Yep.
and I want to check out this new 52. That actually sounds pretty interesting.
Oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's just the whole DC thing is just kind of, it's kind of new origins a little bit, or similar, I guess.
Are
Yeah.
you excited for the new Batman Superman movie?
Yeah, that looks awesome. Yeah,
Affleck's
that
the
looks cool.
shit. Give me a bad Ben Affleck movie. Does not exist.
Really? Oh, he's done some bad shit. Ben Affleck.
Man, Phantoms was
Gigli.
great. Fuck
Gigli.
who saw Gigli?
I
Come
didn't.
on.
I heard it was bad. I never
Exactly.
seen it.
For all you know, that is Oscar fucking
He,
worthy.
he could be good. You're right.
It's like people hate on him in Jersey Girl. That's a fantastic
I
movie.
haven't seen that. I haven't seen
That's good. It's Kevin Smith at his finest.
that. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, but it should be good, man. It should be. Have we seen him a movie with Ben Affleck as Batman? Not yet, right? Just
No.
first time? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The closest he's come to a superhero was Daredevil, which people hated, and I thought he was really good as
Oh
Daredevil too.
yeah. It wasn't bad. It was okay. It
It
was
was
just I was just happy they made a Daredevil movie. That's it. It was okay.
I don't know. I have the director's cut. Not that I'm bragging or anything.
Yeah.
It's really good. If you watch the director's cut, it's good. It's
Uh,
more violent. It's like an R-rated movie, not like a PG-13.
oh, cool. Here's the thing. Daredevil, I think, should be like a small, kind of nimble, little, like, agile guy. Ben Affleck's kind of thick,
He's a
you
big
know?
dude.
Daredevil's supposed to be like gymnast level,
Yeah.
swinging off of things. He's got no sight, so he's got super hearing and all that shit, and he's a ninja. That's basically what he is. He's a blind ninja. So yeah, he is. That's what
I
he
didn't
is.
think about it that way, but I like that. I like Blind Ninja.
Yeah.
But he's got a new TV show. Like there's a Daredevil TV show
Oh,
starting. I think.
Netflix. On
Yeah.
Netflix. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it should be good. We'll see.
I'm gonna check that shit out. Netflix is
The,
my new crack cocaine.
the Shield show is not bad. I
I
like it.
honestly, I'll be honest. I've tried to watch a couple episodes. I can't get into it.
Oh yeah, well, I like it because they're touching on the whole Inhuman thing, and I love the Inhumans in the comics.
So
My
that's the
favorite
thing.
superheroes in there.
You're like next level nerd compared to me. Like I'm a
I'm up to
casual.
date. I'm up to date.
Exactly. I'm like casual. I like comic book movies, kind of nerd level. You're like deep in it. Where like they'll make really obscure references. Like I remember
Yep.
what movie did I watch? Like either The Avengers or Thor. And I think I called you afterwards to ask you what the hell the little clip at the end of the movie. I was like, I don't know who these people are. I'm sure it's a big deal, but like I don't understand who these people are.
Yeah.
But hey, that's
No,
the
I'm into it. Because you know what, I kind of read them before going to bed.
yeah.
It's a good way to put me to sleep.
I believe
Yeah.
it. Oh man, that reminds me. I have a book for you. Um,
Yeah. What is it?
The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield.
Oh, cool. I heard that on the Rogan podcast. Not
I
Art of War. Yeah, good,
It's
huh?
fantastic. I was flying back from Chicago, I think, and I ended up having like a 5 or 6 hour layover, and I blew through it. Like
Oh yeah.
it's
What's it about? Nonfiction?
yeah, it's basically about overcoming um like blocks as a writer. Like, not I don't want to say necessarily like writer's block, but overcoming
Like
adversity.
obstacles in life? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it
Huh.
really applied in an interesting way. I think you'll appreciate it in a different way than I did. Like I really applied it to, like, for me doing video work and production work. Like that takes up 90% of my life. Like it really does. It takes time away from
Right,
my wife and my kids, and
right.
it's a very selfish career path, very similar to fighting in that sense, where it's like you need to be 100% dedicated, and that dedication has like a negative trickle down effect in a lot of ways in relationships. And just really it spoke to like the last 6 or 7 years of my life, where you're chasing after something and you're not even kind of, you have blinders on to like how it's affecting the world around you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Huh.
fantastic
Oh,
book.
I'll definitely yeah, I'll check it out.
No, it's great. Now I want to bug you for a story, but I don't know what to ask you for in terms of a story. I kind of want to know about some fights. I kind of want a good pride story. I'm going to be honest.
You know what? This one of the coolest moments. I've told this story a few times. I don't think I've told it to you. So you got to remember when you would get paid for Pride, UFC pays you in checks. Pride, they would pay you in cash. So they would pay you in, like, if you got paid, like, let's say, I'm not gonna name my pay, but let's say I'm just gonna throw out a random number, like let's say 50 grand. Let's say Joe Blow is getting paid 50 grand. So they would give you five $10,000 bundles in U.S. cash. So all hundreds, all
Jeez.
brand new bills, all
Oh.
sequential. So all the serial numbers are in order. It's crazy. They're like brand new bills. So with that little band around it that
Oh
says
my god.
$10,000 U.S. currency, it's so cool. Like, so that you get little stacks, right? However, if you're getting paid 100 grand, you're getting 10 of them. If you're getting paid 10 grand, you get one of them, right? But it's pretty cool. And they meet you in the hotel lobby in the morning, the next morning after the fight, or your manager or your booker. Because in Pride, you have to, the way it works is you have like, you don't deal with the company. You never talk to Pride directly. You will talk to an independent contractor that's called the booker, which is
Mhm.
like a freelancing agent, basically, right?
Mhm.
And that's who has the money for you, and they come and they give you your pay, like in the hotel lobby usually, or sometimes you have to go and get it at the Pride office, which which is what happens in this story. So our booker comes to get myself, my coach Marcus Suarez, Murillo Bustamante, and this guy Bebeo, who's the other coach for BTT, right? I don't know if you heard of him. And they were there. They were collecting the pay for Paulo Filho, who had fought as well,
Mhm.
right? But Paulo couldn't make, or he was still sleeping or something. This was early in the morning. So anyway, so we're all in the we drive over to the Pride office to collect their pay, and we're sitting there in the office waiting to get paid, and the Pride account or the whoever, I don't know, so Pride executive comes, and so they with the Pride with an accountant, little tiny Japanese guy. He looks like the stereotypical Japanese number cruncher, like a little tiny guy with glasses and the helmet, Asian haircut. It looks like he's got a round black helmet on. That's his hair, and he's got a shirt and tie on, but it's those black slacks and those shirts with the sleeveless white dress shirt, right?
Oh my
And the
god.
little black tie. It looks like he's there to fix the photocopier or something, right? And I'm pretty sure he had a pocket protector. So the Pride executive comes in with that guy, and he puts a stack of money on the table, and he gives us each our bundle, whatever we're supposed to get paid, but it had to be counted in front of us, and this money is impossible to count unless you have a money counter machine,
Mhm.
right? Because the bills are so new. Anybody who's had large amounts of brand new bills, U.S. bills, you will know. Okay, so anyways, have you ever had $20,000 in your hand, Josh?
No. No, I can't
Well,
say I
then,
have.
well, there you go. So you wouldn't know, but if you have, you wouldn't know. So anyway, so he's the Pride accountant has the counter in front of us, so he grabs these wads of bills and he holds them he takes off that little band, right, that's around it, and
Hmm.
he does this weird. Imagine you're holding the bill kind of, the rectangular bill, and he's holding it top to bottom, like so, vertically, right?
Hmm.
And he does this weird grip with his fingers, like his finger. I don't know, like his middle fingers in the middle of the bill, the other fingers around one side, the other fingers on the front, and he starts with his other hand. He starts to just like it was like his hands were money counting machines. Like it was amazing. The guy was doing this. He had the most dexterous fingers I'd ever seen, and it's making this sound. And he's counting it, and he's like 10,000, 10,000. Like he's just counting
Oh my
whatever we were
god.
getting paid, right? Like and it was so that's it. That's my Pride story. It was really cool to see that, to be at the Pride office, and then to have all that there. It was like it was the backstage of the backstage, right? Takada was there, Sakakibara was there in their offices, just like, hey, what's up? Going on my lunch break, see you. Like they were actually at work. They weren't like on stage putting on their stage personas.
Yeah.
This was like like I said, the backstage of the backstage at the Pride office. So
Now,
so
can
that's
I
it.
ask?
There you go.
Can
That
I
was
ask
pretty
a
cool. Yeah,
bonus question?
sure.
How'd you get it home?
Good question. So I would split it up amongst my crew, my cornerman, because Pride lets you take more than one, and then I would give you have to you're allowed to bring in 10,000. So I would everybody would get less, like 9,000 or nine something, and then
Mm.
whatever the remainder was, I would keep it with me, right? I would take the chance on bringing more, and I always gotta. Oh, that's a tax question right there. If anybody is, but I declared it as soon as I got home, just so you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Uh,
I'm not trying to get you in trouble with
no, I declared it
the
all.
Canadian
But one
tax
thing,
revenue.
one thing I did that was stupid. I can't believe I did this, but everything turned out to be fine. Is I took on one of my fights where I made a good sum because Pride paid you well.
Hmm.
Uh, I took all the money and I put it in my check-in luggage.
Oh.
And then I only did that once. And then after I did that, I was like, what the fuck did I do that for? Oh my god! And then it was fine. Everything was there. But
Oh my
like they could have
god.
seized it. They could have kept it.
Oh, for sure.
That was like, damn, that's like a couple of down payments, like
Yep.
wow, shit. I can't believe it. I never did that again,
I would imagine not.
yeah.
Okay, and
So
and and slightly related question because I've never asked you this, even like
yeah,
on podcast or not off podcast. I remember you telling me like a long time ago you were into watches.
yeah,
So
I was, yeah.
for potential watch nerds, what is the nicest watch you've ever bought? I know that we're like bouncing around on subjects, but before I
No,
forget.
the nicest watch I ever bought was an Oris, which is not even that nice, but it was cool. It was an Oris Carlos Costa edition, which is a super diving watch because Carlos Costa is the world free diving champion or record holder at that time. So the watch was, I think, waterproof to 1,000 meters, which is like
Jesus,
3,000 something feet, and it was made of titanium. It was a pretty nice watch.
that's pretty
That was,
sick.
yeah. There's the Oris is like the very middle class. It's like, it's not the highest luxury or of technology. There's watches that are in like the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Do
Like
you,
there's this one brand that's unreal. It's called what the hell is it called? I forgot the name. Anyways, yeah, there's some brands that are in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, and the technology, like they're all handmade, these tiny little gears, and
mm,
it's just crazy, like the attention to detail. They use all these very sophisticated materials like carbons and Teflons and Kevlar and graphite and all that stuff. You know,
worth 100
so
grand for you?
cause, yeah, I guess if you can afford that kind of watch, it's nothing.
I will stick to my digital Timex from
Yeah.
1998. Thank you very
Say,
much.
say, you know what? If for what it's worth, Seikos are awesome watches.
I've actually
Very good
always,
movement.
maybe you'll remember this, but I remember when Seiko Kinetic like first came out and they had the most badass like space marketing campaign. And when I was a kid, I was like, God damn, I want a Seiko Kinetic watch when I get older. And I thought for some reason they were like thousands upon thousands of dollars. They're not that much
Yeah,
money.
yeah. Well, you know what? The watch, the name that I was thinking of that was worth a lot of money. Look up this kind of watch called Richard. The brand is called Richard Mille. Mille like Mille. They're unreal, these watches, and they're all probably they probably start like 100 grand, the cheapest one. They're sick watches.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Richard
I
Mille.
like how if you Google that, the first thing that comes up is Richard Mille price.
Yeah, probably.
Wow. He makes a watch that is $1.65 million.
Oh, really? That's too much. That's
Yeah,
probably like
you
jewels
think?
and stuff. I can't
That's
afford that.
I like how that's your ceiling. You're like 1.65. That's too much. No, I can't do
Yeah,
that. Jesus.
yeah.
All right, man. Well, what's going on with you? Just while we finish up here, what's going on with you?
Oh, you know what? Right now, I'm the commentator for Battlefield right now, along with my friend Craig. So there's an event in Vancouver, is I guess the biggest event in Vancouver called Battlefield Fight League,
Hmm.
BFL, and I'm one of the caller commentators for it. I'm the Joe Rogan of Vancouver, if I
That's
can say so.
awesome, man. I
Yeah.
did not
So
know that.
yeah, every event I do that, and it's great fun. And I do it, yeah, because it's streamed online, I believe, or I think it's on pay-per-view as well. I can't remember.
Hmm.
And then right now I'm coaching. I'm coaching at a gym in North Vancouver called Universal Martial Arts. Right now doing the boxing and running the boxing and the no-gi jiu-jitsu program. And that's it. Eventually I'll be doing more of it, but I think right now that's all I'm doing.
And how can people get a hold of you?
You know what? I'm very low tech. Just do my Hotmail email, DennisKang@hotmail.com. I'm
No
very
Twitter?
unprofessional.
Come on, man.
Yeah, yeah, just at Dennis Kang for Twitter, for sure. Yeah, actually, yeah, I always forget about my Twitter. I don't tweet enough. I'm a bad
You need to
Twitter.
get on that, man.
I'm a bad tweet. Yeah.
You have good little anecdotes too. Like you could tweet the shit out of everything.
Yeah, I don't do it enough. I should do it more. But yeah, at Dennis Kang is my Twitter, or you can reach me on my Hotmail. And that's it. I'm available for teaching, for one-on-one training, whatever your level. And
Can you teach
that's
someone like me how to be
I
a UFC
I can
star?
I can teach anybody. One thing that I say is when you come train with me, I guarantee you will improve and you will get better because I don't let anybody not 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 get better. I don't let anybody make the same mistake over and over again. So I guarantee you that I will get you better, make you lose weight, or make you get stronger, or make you become a better boxer, make you become a better jiu-jitsu fighter. And I can honestly say that coaching is another one of my passion. Like MMA overall is basically what I've dedicated my life to. I'm constantly watching fights and studying techniques and staying up to date on moves and new styles and new tendencies of fighters and what's going on in the sport right now. So I like to stay very up to date in MMA and the jiu-jitsu side and the wrestling and the boxing. And it really is. I really try to give all that when I coach. When I don't have any secrets. There are saying things that I'd rather show to certain levels like beginners. But
Mhm.
with me, you definitely get your money's worth when I come to coach you.
And just to kind of add to that, I can actually attest. I mean, we're friends, so I'm not trying to blow smoke or anything. But I've with BJJ Addict, it's put me in a lot of gyms, um, all over the place, and have seen a lot of coaches. And someone who's actually been taught by you, I can say my favorite aspect of your coaching. This is for anyone listening who's kind of like, oh, I don't know, kind of intimidating giant guy like Dennis Kang teaching me like how to do shit. Like literally to a fault. I remember we were doing leg kick drills in one of your MMA classes, and you would not leave my side until I had every movement down correctly.
Yeah,
And
yeah. There
and
you
I've
go. Well, that's
seen
what it takes. You
a
know.
lot of coaches who will give direction. Like if you have even a giant class size, like I've seen coaches who will be like, okay, you need to change this, this, and this, and this, and this, and then they'll not improve their technique, even though they've taken note of what you've said. Nothing really changes in their movement, and they'll go, well, you'll get it, and then they move on. Whereas literally it was driving me fucking crazy that you would not just be like, okay, you'll get it, you'll get it, you'll get it, and walk away. You just made me throw the same kick over and over and over and over again until I was doing
Right.
everything properly. And that really stuck with me. That and it was the same when we did no-gi jiu-jitsu. You would not leave my side until I was doing the technique properly, which you don't see from a lot of coaches, and really for all the students around was like a huge benefit. Like that's, to me, that's getting your money's worth, because I like,
Huh.
you leave the classroom having actually learned something, not got mild instruction from kind of a passive,
Right.
teaching body. So I think
Yep.
that's my coach Dennis Kang story for you. But
Thank you. I'm really glad that you noticed it. It's it's part of my integrity as a coach. I try to I you know it's I have to make sure that everybody gets it. It's you getting good at that kick is the result of my work. It speaks directly about my ability as a teacher, as a pass honor of knowledge, right? So of
yep.
course I have to make sure of that. And also I like it. I want to see you be able to defend yourself. If somebody tries to mess with you, try to mess with your family, you can low kick them to death. There you go.
Fuck yeah, I will.
That's right. And
I was telling Dan Guillemette here in Ottawa, one of the coaches for TriStar. I was telling him while you were showing me that, I don't think I ever told you this. While you were showing me that, you demonstrated it on me, and like where my leg should fall on my opponent in the kick, and you hit me at probably like 2%. Like, but it literally, your shin went straight to my femur, and I just remember like you did it, and I tried to act like it didn't phase me at all, but I literally could not put any weight on that leg for like a solid 5 or 10 minutes. Like it hurt so bad, and I was just thinking in my head, I was like, this is before we were friends, really, and I just remember thinking like, man, if this guy just fucking let loose on me with one of these kicks, it would probably shatter my leg in half. It's just like that technique is just so like ingrained in you. It's crazy.
yeah, no, I have hard chins now. Like I try to train my fiance Christine Gowdy a little bit too, and I gotta be careful. I can't kick her. I show her how to kick. But I gotta be careful. Even just demonstrating a light kick.
Deadly, man.
Yep,
All right,
that's
well,
it.
I think we will end it there. Can I shamelessly promote something?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Excellent. Okay, so for any listeners in the Ottawa, Montreal, or Gatineau region, I would highly recommend on May 2nd that you find your way to Gatineau at Palais du Congrès. I don't know if that's how you say that in French, but it
That's how you
sounded.
say it. That's pretty good.
I thought so. For Hybrid Combat Promotions, we got a lot of really great pro fights going on. You see a lot of young up and coming Canadian fighters, a lot of good talent.
Yeah.
It's going to be aired on the Fight Network, which is huge. And yes, it is extra shameless because I do work for Hybrid. So
No,
in
good
the
event. I've been there.
it's just a really good production, honestly. In the fights last time, I believe there were 12 fights and 11 fights finished in the first round. There was only one fight that
Right.
went the distance. Just incredible talent. I think sometimes we forget, and Battlefield actually has great talent as well. I was speaking with Ariel at the Fight Network, and he directed me to watch some Battlefield tape. And I think we sometimes forget. We get caught up with UFC and Bellator. We forget how much good talent is close
Oh
to
my
us.
God. It's the same thing with the Battlefield event here in Vancouver, the one that I commentate for. It's amazing. The
Yeah.
young guys coming up now, they fight, they do everything well. You can't tell if they're grapplers or strikers, and they have the cardio to
Yeah.
go hard for all the rounds.
No, it's sick. So definitely, I mean, check out Battlefield and check out Hybrid, depending on what coast you live on. If you're out on
Sure.
the West Coast, I mean, go
Exactly.
say hi to Dennis and check out Battlefield. And if you're on the East Coast, come see me and say hi at Hybrid and check out some of the young Canadian talent that is up and coming in our sport.
That's right.
But that is it for me. Thank you again for joining me. I truly appreciate it. Did you cut out again?
Yeah, pleasure to be
Oh,
here. Anyways, I lost you there for a second.
I was gonna
But
say, I was like, wow, that's either really weird timing that we both cut out at the same time, but um,
before we cut out again, I want to say that I want to thank you for having me on again, Josh. It's a pleasure to be here anytime, and you know, until next time.
absolutely, we'll do it again, sir, and I look forward to talking to you again.
Yep, that's it.
All right,
Talk to you
later,
soon,
bro.
my friend. Bye bye.
Bye.